What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 13, chapter 1, reset. I think something like that. The girl's going down to Grenada, okay? Let's just talk about it. I really just feel like, and I'm gonna be real honest, okay? I know people got their issues with Drew, 9 and 10. I probably feel the same way. But at the same time, I really feel like what they're doing right about now is ganging up on her, and it's just, and they're dragging this situation. It's dragging this situation. Like, you could say Drew is a liar. You could say Drew is a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, they're doing the most. The stuff that they are going at Drew about and trying to find issue about, it's not really a freaking issue to even be doing all of that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So the girls are getting ready. When we first get into the episode, we see Shamia and her daughter. They are getting, things together for a donation to take down to the people of Grenada. They just had a hurricane. So, just trying to do some help out, right? Now, all of that stuff that she had up in that, her garage, it was everything. I said, oh, okay. Girl, Shamia said, listen, I ain't finna half-ass this, okay? That was really cute with her little daughter talking about, I still want this, I still want that. You know how kids don't play with nothing. But once you pick it up and give it to somebody else, it's mine. Well, you haven't touched that in 3 years, okay? It was giving very much that. But at the same time, it's really cute. Kelly shows up and she has a car full of water and everything, and I love that, and probably some other stuff. Everybody generously donated. I feel like some could have did a little bit more, but Cynthia even sent over a whole bunch of stuff that she went to the store to go get. And then here comes Britt. Brittany girl, she comes over with a box that she was able to have carry ever so easily. And I think it was just a couple of 4 packs of tissue. And she said, oh yeah, I got a whole bunch of other stuff that's at the house or whatever, and it's going to be some people that's going to bring it over later and all of this stuff and all that. No, it's not. Okay? No, it's not. Brittany, you just went to the dollar store and got that. You was on your way there and you got that and put it in the box. Stop playing with us. Now, girl, the peoples was talking and on your head, as they should be, about that goddamn event that you pulled off last week. Now, you up there trying to tell them about how you were so upset about how the event went and you mad at the event planner. Baby, the event planner then came out with receipts and they're suing her ass, okay? Because you're trying to make it seem like she messed it up. But girl, you messed that stuff up. At the end of the day, you messed that stuff up. And I feel like it was all for stunts and shows. That's just what it is. You're trying to keep up an appearance to be on this show. And it's just not really working the way that you wanted it to. Girl, they said you had a freaking sit down with no food. What's up? The people left hungry. And see, that's why I eat before I come to people's stuff. Because one, I don't know where it come from. I don't know where your hands been. Granted, you in a country club or whatever. But still. And you was literally having them people starving. And they probably was there for a while to film all of that they need to film. But that's neither here nor there. Brittany, you're full of it. But hey, the girls are getting ready. They're talking about that. That's just a good thing. Let's just fast forward. Because I don't really care about all that. I really want to get to this part. Kelly, she went and she told her kids, that she's going to be gone for a few days because she about to be gone to Grenada and everything. Okay, cool. And then said that she's going to miss the first day of school. I'm not a parent. Okay? But I just feel like those are moments, especially given that you got 8-year-olds, okay? You got 8-year-olds. I want to be there. I want to be there. I want to meet the teachers. Okay? The high schooler, I can kind of understand that. But I want to meet the teachers for the young ones in elementary, grammar school. I want to meet the teachers on that first day. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I just felt like it's giving, this is not really your trip. This is the trip that Bravo or the producers or whoever suggested, and they said that you can only go around this time, because why not pick another date? Why not pick another date so that you can be there? Those are real moments that you need to be there for your child, and you putting it all to your assistant to go and take your children to school. I said, child, you better than me, and you better be paying him extra. That's what you better do. Okay. And then they haven't even gone to school. She said that one of them said, who's going to take us school shopping for the clothes and stuff? What? And you about to go to Grenada like the next day? Child, Kelly, that kind of rubbed me away, and I felt a little off about that. I was like, girl, that just wasn't my zhuzh. Okay. But I felt some type of thing. But when she went down there to tell Lamont what was going on, and Lamont, let me tell you something. Why would you talk to that man? I don't give a good goddamn what type of relationship that you had with Mark, the ex or whatever. You saw how he treated old girl. It seems like you've been around for a minute. Don't go back talking to him. Okay? Don't go back trying to put no stuff in his head, trying to get him to come over to no. Okay? Because it shouldn't take another person to get that man to want to come over to at least do right so that he can see his kids. He don't want to see his kids. Okay? He wants Kelly to suffer so damn bad. And that's just all that it is. He's petty as shit. And his ego is fucked up because at the end of the day, she's not really suffering the way that he want her to. She's still out here surviving. She's still out here flourishing. And it's probably still the simple fact that you have the audacity to fucking divorce me. And not only do that, you got me arrested. Oh yeah, he's bitter as shit. Okay? There is no reasoning with him. And again, I cannot stand when y'all get into these relationships and y'all have kids and then you take it out on the kids because you're not seeing the wife. Okay? You're not seeing your ex. Okay? But you still have kids together. Y'all can make an arrangement, Mr. Mark, to have somebody drop the kids off if you don't really want to see Kelly. There is no goddamn excuse, all right? You are a vile, evil person to do what you do. You know, and you were stealing money from her? Oh, hell no. Fuck all that. I said, Lamont, stand the fuck down, okay? Stand down. Meanwhile, we get this meet up with Drew and Porsha. Porsha, you're full of shit. I'm sorry. Like, I was on Portia's side. I mean, on Drew's side this time. Okay. I really was on Drew's side. This whole time I've been trying to see where Porsha is coming from. Okay. Yes, I get it. You don't want your baby's father to come onto the show, film with the girls, and not tell you. I get that part. My whole thing is, you coming at Drew about her said relationship with Dennis. You're getting all upset about that. You're dragging that through the mud. You're making it way bigger than what it actually is. She's apologized for it, I believe, okay? She's talked about it. And I'm glad that she finally admit later on in the episode that, yes, she should have called Porsha, because that's literally what it was. You just should have called Porsha, and you should have made sure that it was okay to be in contact with him. But at the end of the day, if y'all not fucking, and if Porsha not fucking him, bitch, what is the problem? It's a business thing. But see, Porsha, you're the one that's putting it out there and trying to make it seem like they got a relationship going on. Like she was sleeping with him and all that stuff. You're the one telling people that he said that she was sleeping for tracks or suggested to sleep with him to pay off the... Like, what? You taking it there, okay? Anybody with right sense of mind would know that Drew and Dennis is not fucking around, okay? It just don't even go that way. But you want that to happen so bad. You want that to be true so bad. And it's just really irritating at this point. And it's like, okay, I get it. You don't want them to be around because she didn't come to you with it. But you also should understand how your baby daddy is. And the fact that he literally lied to her and, you know, said that he spoke to you about it and that it was cool, and come to find out that really wasn't what it was. But at the end of the day, still, Drew should have said something. But we've established that. Can we move on from it? Okay, because Why are we still dragging this? I don't even feel like that's nothing to be. And maybe because I'm coming from a person that's on the outside that does not deal with that type of situation. I'm not dealing with a baby father, baby mama in my case. I'm not dealing with none of that. Or ex. Like, even if me and my ex were cool and we split up just because the relationship wasn't working out and it was just like we're better off friends or whatever. And if I find out that another one of my friends was doing some business with him, if there's nothing negative and we was already cool, I wouldn't mind it. Don't cross that line and fuck him. But if y'all doing business and then if y'all still cool or whatever, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I just feel like they dragging the shit. I'm not a parent. I'm not a baby mama or some shit like that. So maybe I'm looking at it from a different lens. But I just feel like Porsha ain't got nothing else to talk about. And all of this is just a big ass deflection. She has no real storyline because Simon, bitch, it is cold up in here. All of a sudden. And it was warm earlier. All of a sudden. And I got chills right about now. What the hell? Simon basically blocked her from talking. And so now she got to come up with this storyline and drag it for the rest of the season. And it's like everybody want to hate Drew, okay? Drew can be a lot. Drew can be, whatever you want to say. But at the end of the day, they are dragging it. So they get to Grenada. And I'm just going to fast forward because ain't really much happened in this episode. Phaedra, I'm annoyed. Phaedra freaking Parks. I don't care if you like her. You should already know that I don't. Okay. But I can give, if she make me laugh, I'll let you know. Okay. You didn't make me laugh this episode. You quite annoyed me this episode as soon as you came into the scene in your confessional after Angela just said, I'm looking forward to meeting Phaedra. I heard some good things about her. Well, heard some things about her, but I don't want to, go about what other people said and all that stuff, whatever. She want to, get to know her for herself. She didn't say nothing negative about Phaedra in her confessional or anything. Phaedra said, oh my God, Angela is the oldest looking young person that I've ever seen. I hope her personality ain't old or something like that. Like, why you gotta throw shots at a bitch that you ain't even know? Okay, I can see if they already had previous interaction with each other, and it didn't go well, and you felt some type of shade coming off of her, whatever. Okay, then shade her down in the confessionals. I get that, but you haven't even met her like that yet. So it's like right off the bat, you're throwing shots at her for what? It was just real stupid, really. It was tacky as fuck. Now, if that girl was to come back and say something about you and your different faces, okay. But, there's that. So they get to the airport. Everybody's cool. They get to Grenada. And listen, I would be so heated. Shamia handled that better than I would. And actually, I was in that type of situation. So Shamia's bags, she just so happened to be the only one. Mind you, she's one of the hosts of the trip. Her and Kelly. They get to Grenada and her bags are still in Atlanta. Do you know how pissed I'd be? I mean, granted, at this point, I can't do nothing about it. But do you know how pissed I'd be? Girl, let me tell you what happened. When I went on that cruise earlier this year, we got to Florida because we was leaving from Florida. So flying from Chicago to Florida. First of all, the drama and the mess that went down to get to Florida because our plane was malfunctioned, okay? After they told us it was cool. And it just kept on delaying it to the point where we were supposed to leave probably around 3 something or no, it was like 2 something or something like that. 1 or 2 something. It got to the point where it got pushed back to like 3 o'clock, then 5 o'clock, then 9 o'clock. Then eventually it got canceled. We needed to get to Florida because as soon as we get to Florida the next day, we was going on the, we had to be at the goddamn ship so we can get the fuck on there, okay? Do you know when we finally got on that plane, because we went and found another plane that was leaving out probably like around 7 something or whatever. We finally was able to get there, and we did get there a little bit late. Understandable. Do you know they didn't have our bags? Do you know they didn't have our bags? We like, when the fuck we gonna get our stuff? Because at the end of the day, we need our shit so we can get on the goddamn cruise in a few hours. What is happening? I was stressed out about that. Now, Shamir, you better than me because I almost caused a fit then, and I was tired as hell. But she kept it calm, cool, and collected. Baby, I be thinking about shit like that, and it just be, I have high anxiety, okay? And I just don't deal with stuff well like that. Like, I would get upset real quick because I overthink. Like, what the fuck is gonna happen, you know? But Shamia said I just so happen to have a couple of outfits in my carry-on, so I can get dressed up and go to dinner and do all that stuff with the girls later on. But that's really kind of fucked up that, you know, my stuff ain't together. Man, Shamia is still in her feelings about the fact that she got an issue with Drew. And I remember when this whole thing went down prior to the season coming on, and if it girl, like, first of all, I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm a little intoxicated, but also I got chills going on because it literally just got cool up in here for no reason. But maybe that's just my body temperature finally calming down. Because I did work out at the same time. Girl, don't ban me. I'm just fucking myself up. So if my voice sounds shaky, that's just really what's going on. But I remember when all of this stuff was going on, where Shamia was asked who is like the least person that she like on the cast or something like that, and she said something about Drew, and then it was that interview on a radio station where she was like the person that said that they can speak 5 languages. And I know I was so confused, and I feel like everybody was confused as to where this all was coming from, because I thought everybody was cool at this point. Mind you, the show hadn't just started yet. And then, you know, because Drew was talking to Cynthia about everything that was happening and all that, but at the same time, it's like the issue that Shamia has with Drew is stupid as hell too. It's not a real fucking issue if you ask me. And if it is, you're dragging it out. And I feel like at this point, everybody is dragging their so-called issue out with Drew. Drew don't got an issue with nobody. That's how it's looking. And Drew is playing it right. I'm going to let you sit here and look stupid as fuck while I just sit here and chill and let you look bothered. And I'm looking unbothered because she's not trying to come up behind these women and say, be my friend, be my friend, be my friend, or even clear the situation that much, especially when it comes to Shamia. It feels like, Shamia, you wanted an issue just because Porsha had an issue, okay? You did take back to Porsha the wrong context, the wrong tone of that conversation. Drew was not saying that shit to be like, oh, I could pay for her, like she can really do something. She was being malicious by saying, I can help pay for, my music can help pay for PJ's college tuition. That's not the way that she was saying it, okay? And then the whole, you getting upset about the lapdog comment. Baby girl, you need to calm that down, okay? Because the only reason why you so upset about that is because she called what it is. She called it out. You act like that. And for you to be like, with everything, because at one point it did feel like I was more into this friendship than Porsha, and then to have Porsha step up and to say something, now I feel good. There it is. There it is. You just proved what it is, what everybody been saying. You feel some type of way about the friendship. That's why you had to have that conversation with Porsha in the first place. And it took for you to be over there talking to the women that are not your friends, that you have not known that long, about your grievances with your homegirl. Whether you brought it up or they brought it up, you engaged in it. And you gave them the ammunition to put it out there too. So, you know, take that up on yourself. All right? Maybe you need to change some things, okay? Because it seems like you used to be Porsha mouthpiece. You want to take up for her battles and all that stuff. And that's literally just what it is. And Drew said, she was talking about her saying that she lies about speaking 5 different languages, and the whole time she's talking about love languages, not actual verbal languages, dialects and all that stuff. No, I'm talking about the goddamn different love languages. And I said I get it because of her record, you know? I was like, girl, y'all got me defending Drew down, and I just don't understand that. Cause like it just not giving what they thought, you know? I don't know. They do the rooms and stuff, and they have them, you know, pairing up. You got Cynthia and Drew going to be in a room together, which makes sense because Cynthia and Drew is the only one at this point that truly gets along. Well, Cynthia don't have a problem with anybody. So, yeah. Porsha and Angela, they're in a room together. I believe Kelly and Phaedra in a room together. And then you got Britt and Shamia? Or something like that. Either way, I got the main ones right. And so it was somebody that was out there showing a dingling and everything. And Phaedra was just so gung-ho to see it. I thought you had a man, right? I thought you had a man. Why you want to see some other men dingling? That was off-putting. But okay. They go get introduced. You know, they had a little set of people coming out there doing things. I want to go. See, that's what I thought was going to happen when we went to the Bahamas. Maybe because we was on a cruise ship and we came in on a port. That's why. But I want to go to one of the countries and then they be doing all of the stuff, whatever and all that. I want the festivities and everything. Shit, that'd be fun. Now that motherfucker that was sticking out his tongue and doing all that stuff, calm down, okay? Don't catch a case, you know, but beautiful people. Yeah, so they get ready. They find their rooms or whatever. They get ready. The arm wrestling between Cynthia and Drew for the different rooms in the suite. That was funny. That was cute or whatever. But yeah, they get down there to the dinner and then they talk about something. Let's all put out our grievances. You know, this whole thing is about reset. We've been trying to reset or whatever. And this is what I was talking about, where they was trying to go at Drew and Porsha and all that stuff. And, you know, the relationship between Porsha and Shamia and well, if you had something to say, come and talk to me about it. Well, this is Porsha saying this to the group. And they asked her, Kelly said, well, you know, do you feel like you've been a good friend to Shamia? Me and Shamia already talked about this. We don't need to talk about it no more. Well, you told us to ask you. Well, like I said, I was saying that before all this went down, before we had a conversation, that y'all should have just came to me and asked. At the end of the day, it don't matter if it should have been before or whatever. How come you can't answer the question? Do you feel like you've been a good friend to Shamia? No, you have not. Not through and through, and not on the same level that Shamia has been to you. And that's just really what it is, okay? Moving on, they got in that whole situation with the Drew thing. When Drew said a hit dog hollers, talking about the Shamia situation. And then she was like, see, look, I ain't finna talk to you because now you gonna call me a dog and all that shit. And I'm sitting here like, girl, Shamia, what the fuck? You know that's a goddamn figure of freaking speech, okay? She was not really calling you a literal dog. And all the other ones that were saying the same thing. Oh, you didn't have to do that, Drew. It's a figure of speech, okay? And you know that. And everybody else at that table know that y'all acting real stupid, okay? And at the end of the day, I was with Drew when she said, well, damn, bitch, you did bark at the table the last time I seen you. And girl, you did. Did you not? Roof, bitch. You know, like, the girls are just, I don't know, like, they irritated me this episode. I ain't really been irritated this whole season, but for some reason, this episode kind of irritated me a little bit. Just lightly. Y'all can feel it. Maybe it's the alcohol. But, there's that. And then, I don't know, Phaedra had asked something or whatever. They was just putting everything on the table, trying to clear everything up. And they was clearing everything up so that they could have a good time. Now, Brittany brings her ass out of nowhere. And she said, now, Phaedra, I just want to say that at my event, Apollo was there, okay? But that was because my husband know him and he invited him. And I just wanted to put that out there. I said, girl, don't nobody give a damn about you and your husband and Apollo. Now, Phaedra, you say you don't give a damn, but we saw how that is when you said those words on Married to Medicine and a whole big thing happened. But that was mostly, let me take that back. Because that was mostly because Apollo popped up with his wife or his soon-to-be ex-wife now. And you didn't know, but you did know about Apollo. But at the same time, Brittany, shut the hell up. Everybody was like, read the room, girl. This ain't about you, okay? You could have let that go. She don't know nothing about you. You don't owe her nothing at that point because y'all don't know each other. But I just felt like Brittany was sitting there like, well, everybody else saying something, so I should say something too. No. Keep it on mute, okay? Nurse your drink and just be okay. But I really want them to get back on to the fun. That's what I want. I want this, which we know ain't going to happen. I want this to be the end of it, the end of the mess, okay? Get back to the fun, go and explore. But, of course, it wouldn't be a Real Housewives trip, if it didn't have a little bit of drama. But, again, I'm still enjoying the season. How y'all feeling about the season so far? I mean, we're 13 episodes in, okay? I do like I said, I'm looking at it for entertainment. And yeah, the girls did kind of, they did annoy me a little bit this episode because I don't like that gang up. They ganging for no reason. But bitch, my eye is swollen. It's coming down. I said like something been in my eye, and I think I probably scratched something because it's been irritated. Yes, last night and today, but it's nothing in there, so I feel like I probably scratched something or whatever. But anyway, and sinus pressure at the same time. I always come to y'all with my issues. What the fuck? You like, damn bitch, can you not do a video without saying some shit that's going on with you? I'm sorry. Well, let me get my ass up off here, okay? Like I said, before y'all choke me out, I might like it. Just tell me how y'all feel about the episodes and how y'all feel about the season so far. Be honest, be truthful, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, 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 wonderful week. Okay, for real, and y'all be safe. Peace.